Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. I'm Sammy, your host, and today we're diving into Blindness by Nobel Prize-winning author José Saramago. This novel is haunting, unflinching, and unforgettable, a dystopian parable that explores what happens when a society is stripped of its most basic function, sight. But this isn't just about physical blindness, it's about moral blindness, about what people become when the fragile threads of civilization unravel. Saramago delivers this story in a unique, urgent prose style, with minimal punctuation and no names, reminding us that in crisis, identity can vanish in an instant. Let's step into the darkness together, so you'll feel like you've read it cover to cover. The story begins in an unnamed city, on an ordinary day, when a man suddenly goes blind at a traffic light. Not darkness, a milky, blinding whiteness. A kind stranger offers to help him home, but later, that same man is also struck blind. And soon, so are others. The city is gripped by a mysterious epidemic of blindness, spreading rapidly and with no apparent cause. The government, desperate to contain it, responds not with compassion, but with fear. Those infected are rounded up and quarantined in an abandoned asylum, guarded by soldiers who are under orders to shoot if anyone tries to escape. Among the first inside are the original blind man, his wife, the Good Samaritan, a girl with dark glasses, a boy with a squint, an old man with an eye patch, and a doctor. But there's one anomaly, the doctor's wife, who can still see, but pretends to be blind in order to stay by her husband's side. Inside the asylum, things begin to decay quickly. With no outside support, no order, and no accountability, the group is left to fend for itself. Sanitation collapses, food deliveries become infrequent and chaotic, and the strong begin to exploit the weak. When another ward begins hoarding food and using it as leverage for power, first demanding valuables, then degrading acts, violence and humiliation follow. The doctor's wife, still the only one with sight, becomes a kind of reluctant leader and moral anchor. Her vision isn't just physical, it's symbolic. She sees what's happening. She bears witness. Eventually, the group stages a revolt and burns down the ward that held them hostage. And then, without warning, the walls of quarantine are breached. The blind are free, but when they step outside, they discover that the blindness has consumed the entire city. Chaos reigns. There's no government, no infrastructure, no running water or electricity. Society has collapsed into an animalistic state, where the blind claw for food, shelter, and safety. The small group stays together, led quietly by the doctor's wife. They seek out shelter, water, and some semblance of humanity in a city that now stinks of rot and desperation. The wife continues to see everything, the filth, the cruelty, but also moments of tenderness, of solidarity, of people helping each other despite it all. In the bleakness, she becomes a beacon of dignity, washing the bodies of the dead, sharing food, protecting the helpless. Eventually, the blindness begins to recede, just as suddenly and mysteriously as it began. One by one, people start to regain their sight. The novel ends not with triumph, but with reflection. The experience has left deep scars, and nothing will ever be quite the same. The doctor's wife, having carried the burden of seeing what no one else could, now weeps, not for herself, but for what she saw in others. For what people became when stripped of laws, of order, of vision. Blindness is not an easy book, but it is necessary. It forces us to confront the fragility of civilization and the thin veil that separates us from chaos. It asks us, when everything falls away, what's left of our humanity? In Saramago's world, the real blindness is not the loss of sight, it's the refusal to see, to recognize the suffering of others, to acknowledge the darkness within ourselves. Thank you for tuning in to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. If you found this journey through blindness illuminating, please subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Until next time, happy reading, and remember, sometimes the scariest blindness isn't the kind that clouds your vision, but the kind that hides in plain sight.